Welcome to another Innovakids video training for students. This particular lesson is on lessons. So this is lesson detail 1.4. In the last tutorial we left off, which is the lesson overview, we said that you need to log in, you need to scroll down to the particular class that you want to take the lesson in. So here you can see there's American history. I'm going to click on the image and you're going to enter the class where you're going to see the header information, and you're going to scroll down past the vocabulary and you'll see that the lesson assigned for today is under the Today Lesson area. So what I've done is I've reassigned the ancient American Indian civilizations to today's date, which is 7/19. And if you scroll down a little further, you're going to see the class calendar, and then you're going to see all the lessons. You'll notice that the ancient American Indian civilization that's scheduled for today now says view lesson next to it and gives you the ability to take that lesson. You can see that the other lessons that are scheduled for later on in the unit or in the week have no view lessons. So you're not able to actually take those lessons until the start date of the lesson itself. So when you're ready to begin the lesson, all you need to do is click the View Lesson link on the top next to the date. And it'll take you to the lesson overview page. Now, that page is a couple things. There's the Begin Lesson button. That's going to be your most important button. If that's not enabled, then there either is nothing to do there except do the activity that's on this page, or the date of that lesson is currently not enabled. So if you scroll down a little bit on this page, this is the first American is the unit, and the lesson's the ancient American Indian civilization. You can see there's also a link for that student book that we talked about earlier. You can click that student book and you can print it out and you can use it during the lesson, or you can just use it online, open another tab and use it as a resource. There's a section called Objective. This is what you're going to learn during that lesson. So you're going to compare the daily life of the first people who settled in the Americas a long time ago. You're going to learn what did they wear, what did they eat, etc., etc. If you come down a little further, it actually gives you a list of the concepts that you're going to learn. So you'll see that there's a number of concepts. There's going to be 24. There's actually only 9 concepts, and then from 10 to 24, you're actually going to learn those vocabulary words as part of the lesson. You can see here grades. These are the grades on your previous lessons and how many points you earned on previous lessons. And in this class, if you've earned any coins, and you'll remember we had several coins, but we had to trade one in the earlier video. Here's a list of all the vocabulary that's going to be taught and what the definitions are. And you're also going to see that there's a link here for the first Americans. This is an activity-based link that the teacher will use in class for an interactive notebook or a worksheet that has to be completed. After you scroll down a little bit on the lesson page, you're also going to notice that there's a video section. It's important that before you begin any lesson that you actually take the time and watch the video that's embedded directly here.
About 11,500 years ago, people in what's now Central.
Now, this particular video is going to relate directly to what's going to be learned in the lesson itself. Some of the questions in the lesson will actually pertain to the video, so it's very important that the student take the time and go through each of those videos before they begin the lesson. You'll notice here when I click on the link that you'll go to a interactive notebook. And in science as well as in American history, each lesson is associated to an interactive notebook page that's in the lesson itself, and it requires you to do certain pages of the interactive notebook in your particular subject notebook. So for this unit, you're required to actually do the index here. So you're going to build the index and list the different activities, and you're going to build the U.S. region map and color that in for the various different ways, and the instructions are here. So in this unit, you're actually required to do what we call page 7 through all the way down here through page 10. And it shows you a picture of exactly what that map's going to look like at that point. And you'll notice that that opens another tab at this point, so you can close that tab or keep it open. So you're going to do, so before you jump into the lesson, you're going to actually take the time to do the interactive notebook. You're going to watch the video, or watch the video while you're doing the interactive notebook, is a good idea. And then when you're ready to begin the lesson, you want to click Begin Lesson Section. So the Begin Lesson button actually begins each of the concepts, and if you remember, there's going to be 24.
Often when we think about the beginning of
You'll
American
notice
history,
here
we think 1776 with the Declaration of Independence.
that the very
or
first
maybe
thing
1492.
is this particular concept has a video. And when you click on a concept, so you begin the lesson, you're going to have a series of concepts that you need to learn. And this one has 24 concepts that are going to be taught. In concept number 1, you're going to get a pop-up, and you're going to read the pop-up and take notes on the pop-up, because the moment the pop-up closes, then you're going to be asked a question about what you've read. Very, very important. You're going to be asked a question about what you've read. So imagine 40,000 years ago, the last great ice sheet still covers much of the North. You are a hunter with your family, tracking animals for food and for hides to make warm clothing. You carry a stone-tipped spear. On foot, you follow wild herds through the cold and fog. You cross a bridge of ice. On the other side, you find a new land. You don't know that it is a new land. You only know that there are no human enemies to stop you. Now, once you read that, you click Close, and you're on what we call the concept page. The concept page could have an interactive game. It could have an interactive simulation. This particular concept page, you learned the first concept. There's an image here that shows something depicting what you're supposed to learn. There's also an interactive map. Now you'll notice in the interactive map that you have the ability to change it to satellite view. You also have the ability to drill out, so you can see roughly where this particular concept took place. And if you remember, in the concept he was going across an ice bridge because there was an ice age that occurred. You're also going to notice that a video starts. And when the concept begins, the video begins, and you cannot answer the question until the video finishes and you watch the entire video. Once that video completes, then you can come down here, take a look at the question and answer it, and then the next button will enable and you can go to the next concept. So the Indians were able to travel to America from China 40,000 years ago because of and of course in the video and in the concept it talks about the Ice Age. So you're going to click which one was the answer, which is an Ice Age covered, and then you're going to finish the video, and then you're going to click the next page.